For those of you that don't know, I am a wife and I'm a mother. I have 7 children altogether. My husband and I are a blended family. So I have 3 stepchildren and 4 biological children. And I talk about my children all the time because they make the best stories when you're a speaker. That's just the reality of it. When you're sharing a message or you're preaching, children just make the best stories. I learned so much about myself through them. So today I'm going to talk about 2 of them. The first one is Gabrielle. And Gabrielle reminds me so much of myself. All of them do. Each child, I don't know about you, but when your child is displaying like those good personalities, you're like, yes, mom, win right there. Like when you start to see your child doing things that you know they got from you, you're like, yeah, that's mine. But when you start to see your child doing things that they may have gotten from another parent, from the other parent, or even the things that like they got it from you, but you don't want to admit that they got that from you, yeah, that was one of those moments for me. I mean, I have those happy moments, but right here is when God was like, yeah, that's you. So I'm going to tell you what it was. Gabrielle likes to make decisions just like everyone else, but she needs time to process her decisions. And I didn't know this about Gabrielle. So my husband is the sweets person in the house. I'm just going to call it out, okay? I tell him this, so he knows. We're working on it. I would say I'm the one that's more health conscious. He's the one that likes to bring in sweets. So they know if sweets come in the house, it usually came from Daddy. And what he also likes to do is take them to get sweets. So one of the places we'll take them to is the dollar store because you can get lots of sweets for a little bit of money. And I don't know about you, but that comes in handy. When we go into the dollar store, all of my kids will get out the car, run in, they'll be given a certain amount that they can spend at the dollar store. And I noticed that Gabrielle took a little more time than everyone else to decide what she wanted. And at first, it didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. It was like, okay, Gabrielle, she just, wants to take her time to decide. But I could tell that she would get a little overwhelmed by the idea of making a decision. And so one day, we were all in the car, and my husband gets out of the car. He says, you know what? It's too many of y'all today. I'm going to just run in and get the sweets. I'm adding that part too. He didn't say it was too many, but that's what he was thinking in his head. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to get the sweets. So tell me, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And this seems very logical until you realize that everyone processes decisions differently. All the children mentioned what they wanted, but Gabrielle, she delayed. And I instantly could tell she was overwhelmed by having to make this decision like that. And so I told my husband, well, go ahead and, just give her some time. But while I was sitting there, I'm like, what is going on with her, girl? Just make a decision. It's candy. Which candy do you want? It's all sugar. Just pick one. But in the meantime, she's sitting there feeling overwhelmed by the idea that she has to make this decision really quickly. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And so eventually, I'm like, God, just show me what's going on with her. And I heard him say, she's just like you. What? No, I'm talking about the candy. I'm talking about, her making a decision about this candy. He's like, yeah, she needs time to process her decision. She's going to make a good one. She just needs time. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that is like me. And so I called my husband. I said, well, give Gabby a couple of more seconds. I think she just needs a little bit more time. And I said, Gabrielle, you're kind of like mommy. You need some time to process your decisions. So I'm going to give you some time. But you do have to make a decision or you're going to miss out on the opportunity. And when I said this to her, I felt like the weight lifted off of her. And she made a decision. She decided probably the sweetest candy she could possibly find. But I realized in that moment that I had given her permission to process decisions the way that she needs to process them, but she has to make one. And so in the assignment that God has given us, we get the opportunity to process the decision. Am I going to move forward with this? It's uncomfortable. It's not necessarily convenient. Am I going to move forward with what God has called me to do? But my sister, I want to tell you to make a decision. Because there are so many opportunities attached to what God has called you to do. There are so many things that you cannot think of or imagine attached to you making a decision.